Alrighty. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be back in Thunder Bay. I want to just first off express gratitude to Chief Solomon and thank the leadership for the welcome today. I want to thank Mayor Boshkoff. Thank you very much, sir. It's always a pleasure to see you. And of course, Jamie, thank you for your amazing work here today. Very impressive. First time to the conference. It won't be my last. And of course, to Kevin Holland, who is with us today, your hardworking member of Provincial Parliament. Thank you for everything you do and for the leadership in profiling our natural resource sector. So I'm going to try to do this a bit brief because I heard Priya say a lot of similar things. And the fact is there's a great deal of alignment and opportunity on the horizon. We are dealing with great challenge in the nation. Just the political realignment on our trade relationship, I think, has emphasized to Canadians, North and South, that this is our moment to really level up with the self-reliance message. And that cannot just be a talking point espoused by politicians. We need an action plan that gets our resources to global market. We have to radically change the way we do business in order to compete in a changing landscape. Because the choices for the world, for those of us that care about the environment and labor standards and human rights, it's either Canadian resources prevail or the likes of China and human rights abusing regimes, countries that are building a coal plant a week, that their resources, their ore, their energy triumphs. And I think any Canadian, regardless of party, we can agree we have the most ethical resources on earth, and we should be proud of that. And so when the Premier gave me the assignment of adding the Ministry of Mines, the first task was to solve a long-standing problem, that it takes too long to do big things in this country. And I believe as Canadians, we don't need to be inspired by the likes of Iran or Russia. We could be inspired by the likes of Australia and the European Union, Commonwealth democracies that are able to permit a mine in half the time. And I believe we, in this moment, in this post-Trump moment, Canadians are realizing that speed, obviously with a healthy dose of prudence and consultation, but we got to move faster. It cannot take 15 years to open a mine in the province. And that has been, I see one gentleman applauding, like, yes, common sense must prevail in this new world order. And so that's why we brought forth a plan. Within 30 days of being your Minister of Mines, working with Kevin Holland, we brought forth landmark, one project, one process legislation. And that has changed the way we interface with project proponents and Indigenous communities. The bottom line is our plan, the one project, one process, the vision is to create a concierge service, is to move a permit across the enterprise of government faster. Because the current system is every permit goes through each ministry subsequently, separately, with different sort of ships passing in the night, no one talking to each other. And it ends up adding time and really undermines the flow of capital. And we need investment. We need to attract global investment. We need to retain Canadian investment. We want to see more Canadians working within our resource sector. And therefore, that's why we brought forth the plan. We legislated the plan. We passed it through the House. And of course, it's on track for implementation this fall. That speaks to our commitment to you, to the people of Thunder Bay, to the people of Northern Ontario, to every Canadian who wants Canada to prevail against President Trump or against any geopolitical threat. And that's why we brought forth the plan. And it's actually going to be implemented, fully subscribed in law this fall. And I'm proud of that because what it means is that we're able to move a permit through the system of government, cutting the permit timeline down by 50%. That is ambition. And I think what Canadians want is for us to be ambitious, to think long term, to think about our children and grandkids, that the minerals below our feet today are what's going to drive the clean energy economy for the world. And I insist, we insist as a government, that Canadian workers lead the way. And so one project, one process means a 50% reduction. The benchmark, you could take it to the bank. It's not a politician making a commitment to make it faster. We hear that too often. We took a different approach. For Kevin, for the Premier, for myself, we subscribed into law the maximum number of days a government bureaucrat or minister can take to render a decision. Now this, of course, does not in any way impede the duty to consult. That coexists. That's a separate track that is not time limited. That has to be meaningful. We have to get that right. But when it comes to the stuff we can control in government, we could do it faster. It's insane that it is taking years to approve a project in another province, let alone another jurisdiction in the world. They could do it in half the time. And so my message to you is, yes, we are going to be ambitious. We're going to create pressure on the system. We're going to ensure we can create more jobs here at home. And part of that is through this process of 1P1P. And what it means is we now emerge from the second slowest permitting regime in the OECD of all industrialized economies. We are literally, it's not the benchmark you want to achieve. We're the second slowest. This plan, Ontario's plan, will emerge as one of the fastest permitting systems in the industrialized world. We're going to exceed the European Union, who has a 27-month approval process. We will be at 24. And I came here personally to commit to you to see this plan through. And in addition to permitting, we're also expanding processing. A $500 million fund because we believe the ripping and shipping of Canadian resources to the US or to the European Union doesn't make sense. Why are we allowing value-added jobs, good jobs, recession-proof jobs go elsewhere when we can do it right here at home? And so we've announced a plan to catalyze investment to attract more private capital. And $500 million is a ton of capital, and you're going to see the benefits for the people of the North. Now, I'm also the Minister of Energy, and that gives me an opportunity to speak about the importance of collaboration. You know, we are building the Waasigan line, a project, a transmission line, 50-50 partnership with Indigenous communities leading the way. The phase one of this project, for politicians talking about building transmission, building energy, sending it more to the north so that we can say yes to investment, well, we're actually doing it in partnership. This line, the first phase, will be in service this year, and the next phase, phase two, by year 2027. We just did the Wate line, a line led by Indigenous communities to electrify over 15 remote communities that are still dependent on diesel. It's not just about economics. This is about quality of life. This is about the dignity of Canadians and ensuring everyone is able to live in this country and share their prosperity. And the Greenstone line, a new transmission line I have used my powers to designate to expedite the delivery of this transmission that has never been done. We've not seen a transmission investment like this in a generation. We literally, if you put a transmission line from Thunder Bay, you can go all the way to Windsor of net new transmission, just I, as your minister and our government has approved in the last 12 months in what's called Ontario's Integrated Energy Plan, a long-term energy roadmap for growth. We also announced a commitment to build net new hydro in the north. We haven't done that in a decade. We've supported 2 projects, all led by Indigenous nations, leading the way on their territory, and we're funding it, we're supporting it. We want those megawatts of baseload, clean, reliable power. My point to you, in short, is that we are working with a sense of speed. We're moving to attract investment. We are working in partnership with local communities to build energy and transmission and storage so that we can always attract the investment, the jobs, and the opportunity people in Northern Ontario need. The fact is, your demand forecast in the north, 81% demand forecast for power by year 2050. Just to put that into context, folks, the average in Ontario is 75. It is even more acute in the north. We got to keep investing in transmission and generation. We're building the largest nuclear generator, as was mentioned in the intro, on Earth, as proposed in Port Hope. Small modular reactors. Like, let's take a moment to be proud as Canadians. It's not the Brits. It's not the French, the Italians, the Japanese, or the Americans building the first small modular reactor in the world. It's Ontario and Canada leading the way. And we're building a fleet of 4, which we're going to export to the world. We're building them for the Polish and the Estonians and all the Eastern European nations right on the front line of Vladimir Putin's aggression. It is Canadian solutions, Canadian technology, Canadian workers, and our supply chain that's leading the way. So my message to you is, in a moment of difficulty, of economic challenge, we all saw the CEN CAN job numbers last Friday. We're all self-aware that there's difficulty on the horizon. But the message is one of hope. We can do a lot in this country in partnership. We have the resources. We have the intellectual capital. We've got the infrastructure capacity. I mean, just here at Thunder Bay, Kevin will remind me, you've got ports, you've got trains, you've got logistic hubs, you've got it all. And so we need to seize this moment. And I came here to say, let's unite as Canadians. Let's rally around this opportunity. And today, the Prime Minister, I think as I speak, is announcing the first tranche of nation-building projects. And the media will suggest that small modular reactors is part of that vision and the Ring of Fire. If that is true, that is a positive step forward. We may share different parties, but we are on the same team right now, fighting for the same interests. We're on Team Canada. So let's invoke that spirit as we work together. Let's move with a greater sense of ambition and speed, and be assured that your government is on your side to get the resources under our feet to the country and to the world. So thank you all for this opportunity, and I look forward to chatting with you, as I say, for the rest. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.